So our readings today show or speak of a perfect world, a world without violence, a world where there is peace amongst what would seem to be enemies. And so animal kingdom is utilized where hunter and prey are no longer playing that game. Instead, they can rest amongst each other, consuming something else that's alive, the plants. Sorry, plants. You're still getting consumed. The idea, though, is what seems to be a dichotomy that a bear and a cow, the bear would normally, if it was hungry, would eat the cow. Although bears usually go after small things like berries. But the idea that a child could put a hand on an adder's lair safely, that two different animals with their children could be right amongst each other, and there was no fear of the harm coming to their children. So this perfect world is a world without fear. That these two presences that should seem like one is in danger of the other isn't actually a danger. And Jesus even mentions in the gospel, the wise and the learned are actually not as wise or as learned as they thought, because something has been hidden from them. But the childlike, who has a whole lot of information to yet be given to them, who has a lot of stuff kept from them, has something that the wise do not have. And in the midst of that dichotomy, what that's supposed to do is bring about this peace, this equality. What you don't have, I have, and we shouldn't be threatened by that. What you have, I don't have, and I don't have to be jealous, because instead, it strengthens us. It allows us to rely on each other, and there should be peace. And it's God who wants to be the one who ushers in that peace. But he does that through you and I. Well, I should say you and me, grammatically. He chose me to speak to God's people. He chose you to speak to your family and to God's people around you. To not be jealous of the other person, to not be boastful over the other person, but to bring God's peace. And so while the prophets speak of this desire of a perfect world, Jesus turns to his disciples and says, "Blessed are your eyes because of what you see, because others desired it but didn't get to see it." In what ways are we blessed now? That we've seen things that people have desired, generations past have desired, and they didn't get to see it come to fruition. It's important to recognize the blessings even in the midst of a chaotic world, a world that is not full of peace. We have to be peacemakers in it and bring God's peace to that, because we recognize the blessings, that there are good things happening. That God is still doing great things. He is still in our midst. And we're going to be the ones to manifest those blessings to the world. Because it's God's will. Now, which things will be manifested through who? we have to pray about. Lord, how are you going to utilize me to bring your peace to a distracted and chaotic world? To bring focus on your love, your power, your joy, your peace.